calling and
being part of
the Sydney Film Festival
is exciting.
It means that my film is relevant,
authentic,
crazy,
Fun.
Uplifting.
diverse,
We are captivating.
inspiring, emotional,
Beautiful.
in a weird little world of its own.
I've been stuck at the truck stop. I've had a case of the blues. The next time I see you looking shady, I'll wish you with the dancing shoes.
Absolutely thrilling experience.
Thoroughly entertaining and frankly brilliant.
Don't miss it.
I thought this place wasn't for someone like me.
Hello? Anyone there?
Can we roll the trailer?
I want women like you on my team.
Wanna live?
We've all got a past.
It's what you do now that matters.
Hello, I'm Deanne Weir, Chair of the Sydney Film Festival. Welcome to the 67th Sydney Film Festival Virtual Edition Awards presentation. I begin by acknowledging the Gadigal people of the Eora Nation, the traditional custodians of the land from where I'm speaking to you tonight, and indeed where our festival is normally held. First Australians have been storytellers for over 60,000 years, and I take this opportunity to acknowledge their elders. Well, 2020 feels a bit like the unwanted gift that keeps on giving, from bushfires to floods to COVID-19, and now the social and economic impacts of the shutdown. Cancelling our in-person festival was a heartbreaking decision, but we couldn't cry into our choc tops forever. Instead, we looked to our filmmakers for inspiration, people for whom innovation, imagination, and pivoting are a part of everyday life. And so here we are, bringing some fantastic stories to you at home with our virtual edition. You've had the opportunity to experience 33 films across 4 program strands, and now this is our opportunity to acknowledge and celebrate the filmmakers and the award winners. For the first time, winners are actually being announced before closing night, so you've still got 3 more days to watch all of these incredible films. You know, even if this might not have been the festival experience that we all envisaged, it's been a unique and a very gratifying one. We are all grateful that we've been able to experience, celebrate, and support the creativity of so many talented filmmakers from Australia and around the world, all from the comfort of our own homes. Even when in isolation, we've had the world at our fingertips. This virtual festival has taken a village to organise, and I would really like to thank all of our incredible partners who have made this year's virtual festival possible. We thank the New South Wales Government for their many years of support through Screen New South Wales. Thank you to our federal government partner, Screen Australia, including Screen Australia's Indigenous Department, our programming partner. And of course, we truly appreciate the wonderful support of the City of Sydney, our long-standing local government partner. To all of our other festival partners, thank you. Nothing happens without you. Special thanks must go to our 2020 award partners, Documentary Australia Foundation, Dendy Cinemas, Yoram Gross Films, and Dinosaur Designs, all of whom ensured that the festival could continue to offer critical support to the local film industry. We'd also like to thank our donors, who continue to support the festival in these very trying times. You are a key part of the Sydney Film Festival family. A special thanks to our Directors Lab supporters who've given generously to our Dendy Shorts program, allowing the awards to still be part of this year's virtual festival. And of course, a huge thank you to the wonderful team at Sydney Film Festival who adapted in these unprecedented times and managed to bring film premieres and guest interactions to you at home. Particular thanks to our wonderful CEO Lee Small, Festival Director Nishen Moodley, and Head of Programs Jenny Neighbour. I thank my fellow board members who encouraged creative thinking and risk-taking at a time of many unknowns, and of course our industry partners and our wonderful filmmakers who put their trust in us. And thanks to you, our audience, who went along on this adventure with us, buying tickets online. You are at the heart of what we do. I will see you all in person next year at the 2021 Sydney Film Festival. And now it's my great pleasure to introduce Lord Mayor, Councillor Clover Moore, who has sent in a special video message for our awards presentation.
Film, like all the arts, offers us a way to explore our world and perhaps to reimagine it, to see what it is and what it could be. The arts encourage reflection, empathy and creativity, qualities we need as we grapple with the COVID-19 pandemic and its after effects. The arts community was one of the first to be hit by the pandemic and one of the hardest hit sectors. But it's typical of the resilience and the vitality of the Sydney arts community and of our Sydney Film Festival that they have risen to the challenge with energy and imagination. The City of Sydney has ramped up our support for our creatives during the lockdown, but they will continue to need support from all of us in months to come. Let us show them how much we value all that they do for our lives and enjoy this year's festival.
Hi, we just finished deliberating as a jury, and we were struck by the wide range of styles and content of the film. There was a lot of agreement and there was some disagreement, so we had to form a sort of multi-headed beast and come to these conclusions. First of all, we want to highly commend Karen Perlman for her ambitious and masterful mix of forms, combining animation, graphics, dance, documentary, and drama to craft I Want to Make a Film About Women.
Good evening, everybody. Virtually good evening, obviously. It gives Sandra and I great pride to continue the legacy of our dear father, Yoram, or my father, Sandra's late husband, Yoram Gross, and his wonderful legacy of animation, Australian animation, of course. Over 30 years, having sponsored the Animation Award at the Sydney Film Festival, we continue to be proud of that legacy and enjoy the night. I presume it's raining. It rains every year, so stay dry, stay covertly distant from everybody, and have a wonderful festival. Thanks very much.
The first award is the Yoram Gross Animation Award. It comes with a $5,000 prize, and here are the 2020 nominees.
G&T by Sarah Herner and Rosemary Vasquez Brown. Obscura by Emily Jordan and Hannah Jordan. The Quiet by Hridaya Jagadeva.
So, Best Animation. This is a fearless film by two very talented filmmakers. It's rare to see something so anarchic that's also so controlled. This year's Yoram Gross Award for Animation goes to G&T by Sarah and Rosemary.
I got thrush wearing stockings for 5 days straight.
J'ai attrapé le thrush en nettoyant mon vagin avec du savon avant un rendez-vous.
Wiping back to front got me thrush. That and doing anal and vaginal sex in a rush.
Ew, what the fuck? I have all the knowledge to support #thrush survivors. Ew. What do you have, Glenn? You don't even have thrush. But but I wear exclusively activewear.
Thank you so much. We want to start by thanking all of our teachers and mentors at UTS, Uncanny Valley for the incredible sound. They really took our ideas and made them pop. Our family and friends for their unconditional love and support. We also want to congratulate all the other finalists. It was just an honor for our film to be screened alongside such crazy talent.
Yeah, we're so overwhelmed with all the positive feedback, and it's such an honor for us to be recognized like this because so many of our favorite films have been through the Sydney Film Festival, and we hope that G&T can make some people laugh during this time. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Nick Hayes from Dendy Cinemas. Dendy Cinemas has been sponsoring the Australian Short Film Awards at the Sydney Film Festival since 1989. Each year we sponsor 2 awards, the Live Action Short and the Best Director Award named after Ruben Mamoulian. Each year we're impressed with the calibre of the short films entered into the awards, and this year is no exception.
So now for the Dendy Live Action Short Awards. It carries a cash prize of $7,000, and here are the 2020 nominees.
Ayan by Elise Slater. The Fall by Mert Berdlik. Grevillea by Jordan Justy. Her Own Music by Olivia Alexowski. I Want to Make a Film About Women by Karen Perlman. Idol by Alex Wu. Mukbang by Eliza Scanlon.
So the winner is a minimalist piece that manages to pack in an amazing amount of story. And the award goes to Idol by Alex Wu.
当他发现你在和别人约会的时候，首先他感到伤心欲绝，然后是感到被背叛、被欺骗、厌恶，却无能为力。这在这个行业当中并不少见的。
你说他的死不是我的错，对吧？
Hi, I'm Alex. This is crazy. I just want to thank a couple of people. Firstly, the judges. Thank you so much for recognizing this film. It really means so much to me to receive this honor. It's a dream come true. I want to thank my producer, Jia Pei. You were there from the very beginning. You're my creative partner. I'm so lucky to have met you and to work with you in the first place. I want to thank Kyle, my lead actor. You were the heart and soul of this film. No one worked harder than you. Your commitment was inspiring. Thank you so much for being so vulnerable as well, which is the greatest gift a director can ask for. Thank you for trusting in me and sharing your talent. Max Walter, my DP. There's no one I trust more behind the camera than you. Thank you so much for being my friend and for putting up with me for the last 7 years. Thank you to the rest of the cast and crew, Daniel, Greta, Wen, Shang. You guys are my family now. I hope that's okay. I want to thank my Year 12 media teacher, Celia, for making me believe I could become a filmmaker one day, and my supervisors at the VCA, Andrew, Siobhan, and Donna, for helping me become that filmmaker. I want to thank my friends and my family for always giving me their support and their love. You don't know how much you mean to me. And I want to thank my cats. And finally, Dendy, Sydney Film Festival, and all of its employees. Thank you so much for the hard work that you guys do. You put on a film festival during a pandemic, which is just incredible. So thank you for always continuing to support and elevate stories and filmmakers like myself. Nishan Moodley, you're the best. I salute you. Thank you so much.
Our final Dendy Award for Australian short films is the Ruben Mamoulian Award for Best Direction. And this also has a cash prize of $7,000. Thanks, Dendy. This year's award goes to Eliza Scanlon for Mukbang.
Mmm. Mmm.
First, I would just like to acknowledge the traditional owners of country throughout Australia who maintain knowledge from generation to generation through oral tradition, including storytelling. And I just want to recognise its deep and ongoing significance. And thank you to the jurors and to Sydney Film Festival and Dendy for this award. It's a real honour to have my film alongside all of the other filmmakers in this competition. There are so many people to thank, but I will start with my mum and dad who have supported and fostered my love for filmmaking for as long as I can remember. To China, our producer, to Luca, our cinematographer, who have been with me every step of the way with this film. To all the friends that I met on acting projects and classes who helped with this film, to our editor, Trent, our composer, James, our production designer, Emma, to all of the cast, Justin Amunkwa, Jeremy Campisi, Sophia Nolan, Tessa Jocelyn, Susan Pryor, and to the woman who made that all happen, our casting director, Emily O'Brien Brown. And finally to Nadia Zwecker, who was the lead of this film. And she holds a very special place in my heart. And I remember last year being in a cafe with her at midnight, trying to flesh out this film and having no idea what path it would take. And we certainly didn't think it would take this one. So it's a huge shock to us. And we're all so incredibly thrilled to be part of this year's Sydney Film Festival. And yeah, just a huge thank you.
Documentary Australia Foundation is very pleased to be able to support the award for the Best Australian Documentary at the Sydney Film Festival. This is our 7th year, recognising and awarding and celebrating the work of our documentary filmmakers in Australia. And this year is no exception. The lineup is outstanding and each film very different, very powerful. And I'd just like to congratulate all of you documentary filmmakers who make your films in such difficult times, to thank all the donors who support the Documentary Australia Foundation. We could not do the work we do without the support of our philanthropic partners. Documentary Australia Foundation helps documentary filmmakers find partners in the philanthropic and in the not-for-profit sector to build support for funding and awareness of social issues and to make our world a better place. So here are the nominees for the Best Australian Documentary in the DAF Award at the Sydney Film Festival this year.
Descent by Nace Bagai. 100 Years of Happiness by Jacob Anvu. The Leadership by Ili Bare. Morgana by Isabel Pepard and Josie Hess. Our Law by Cornell Ozies. The Plastic House by Alison Shawn. Rosemary's Way by Ros Horan. The Skin of Others by Tom Murray. The Weather Diaries by Kathy Drayton. Women of Steel by Robin Murphy.
The jury this year for the Documentary Australia Foundation Award was Kriv Stenders, Sally Neighbour and Lauren Greenfield, who joined us from the US to judge the 10 films. Thank you all. I'd like to announce that the winner of this year's Documentary Australia Foundation Award for Best Australian Documentary is the film Descent by Nace Bagai. Congratulations. And I'd like to just read a statement from the jury. As a jury, we all agreed that Descent was not only a visually stunning and beautifully crafted film, but that it was also an extraordinary story about overcoming trauma and finding healing and strength at the edges of human endurance. We felt that Kiki Bosch's story and her free-diving journey through the world's coldest lakes and oceans is a thrilling and inspiring adventure that ultimately encourages all of us to harness the power within ourselves. Congratulations, Nace, and congratulations to the team who all worked together on the film, and a huge congratulations to all of the documentary filmmakers who submitted their films for this year Sydney Film Festival.
Before every dive,
I've done that dive 1,000 times. I have visualized every single thing that can go wrong. What happens if I lose my fins? What happens if I lose my goggles? What happens if I get a cramp? And I always like to say, I train at my worst. So I always know that no matter what, the day I'm actually doing a dive, I'm not going to be in that state. Because the moment you panic, it's over.
Wow, thank you so much. I am so honored to receive this award from the Documentary Australia Foundation. Just being nominated as part of an amazing collection of these films was an honor enough for me. But to receive this award in my own hometown is beyond my wildest dreams. And I am so grateful for the Documentary Australia Foundation, the Sydney Film Festival, and to the judges who have made this such an amazing experience. As with any film, there are so many people I would love to thank, but at the top of the list, I have to go with Kiki Bosch herself, not just for her remarkable story, but also for trusting me to be the one to tell it from beginning to end. My amazing co-producer, Eero Heinonen, also deserves a mention for being an amazing colleague, for getting gorgeous shots, great sound, and for creating a family atmosphere on the set that made it an absolute treat to work with him. I would also love to really thank Mehta Bagai for being the best business partner and executive producer ever, and Roya Bagai and Geordie Brown for being amazing location producers in ANZ. I think another hero has to be Mr. Stefan Andrews, whose gorgeous archival footage really made the film sing, and also it solved so many logistical problems for the production. And I think there are also some other underwater cinematographers and dry cinematographers like Teemu Liaka, Peter Lightala, Spencer Frost, and Aaron Edwards, whose gorgeous visuals were an absolute treat to behold. And last, I would also love to thank my composer, my friend and collaborator, Mr. Kalish Reitmans, who I've known for over 20 years and who did an absolutely amazing job with the music. I would also love to thank all the cast and crew and the interviewees, as well as the safety divers. Without them, we would not have been able to do such demanding dives across the world without a safety net to feel comfortable doing it. And I would also really love to express my gratitude to all the people who gave me feedback during the long 5-month editing process, my friends, my family, my colleagues and mentors. I relied on it extensively during that time. And lastly, and definitely not the least, I would love to end by thanking my parents for always being there and encouraging me to live this dream. Thank you guys so much for this amazing experience.
We are now close to the end of the 67th Sydney Film Festival Virtual Edition and Awards, and a great big thank you to the audience for being with us over this very different edition of Sydney Film Festival. We hope that you have made many new discoveries and had a great time this year from the comfort of your home. I would like to thank the various filmmakers whose films we celebrated this year, particularly as they had to embrace a very new form of the festival. We are thankful too to the film companies, distributors and institutes who provided us with the wonderful films that made up this festival. And thanks to the juries who watched, debated, deliberated and came up with the winners who were celebrated tonight. Thanks so much to the Sydney Film Festival Board, our CEO Lee Small, my programming colleague Jenny Neighbour, and the entire wonderful Sydney Film Festival team for coming together under challenging circumstances to bring about the special edition of the festival. We are, of course, very, very grateful to our partners, award sponsors, donors, the state government through Screen New South Wales, federal government through Screen Australia, and the City of Sydney for their support and for making this edition of the festival happen. There's still a few days left of our virtual edition, and we hope that you'll take this opportunity to catch up on the winners and some of the other films you may have missed. We are so thankful and grateful for your support and can't wait to see you back in the cinemas for Sydney Film Festival 2021.
Once upon a time, there was the story. A glorious tale told to flame-danced faces.
In deserts and castles and faraway places. The story remembered by past generations and carried through battles between furious nations.
It cares not for decorum. It hears no decrees. It refuses commandments. It won't stand for these calls for silence. Because it has to be heard.
The endless protector, the fearless collector, the flickering projector, the keeper of the sound and the absurd.
Stories tell us who we are, or who we can be. It allows us to see life through eyes that are not our own.
From journeys through thunder, we can go over and under the silver-topped mountains, the impossible plains.
We can pull back the curtain and break all the chains.
Because stories can break our hearts.
Make us laugh in the dark. Make us see through the lies, draw a vast question mark over the great and the good.
And make us wonder if we should change things for the better.
The world has stories to tell, and they need to be told.
Without stories, we're left in the darkness.
We're out in the cold.
We can't move without growing. We can't think without knowing.
We don't know what's coming. So we need stories to keep going.
Stories. Without them, we're lost. Please help us keep the stories alive.